Hey, what is up, guys? It's Giltspire here, and welcome back to Champions of the Fog. How y'all doing today on this wonderful Sunday afternoon? How you doing, Gannicus?
Yo, I'm doing fantastic, dude. It's a wonderful Sunday. Well, it snowed over here. The weather's been like 50, 60, and then randomly snowed. So kind of crazy. But besides that, dude, I'm excited for some awesome gameplay today.
And abso-freaking-lutely, I am wicked excited, especially after yesterday. We literally just finished up Season 2 of Champions of the Fog, and we are immediately back again in the hot seat with Season 3 Qualifier, so pretty ridiculous, don't you think?
There's no sleep for the weary. You gotta get in there. You gotta get these qualifiers done to get to Season 3. These two teams, I'm excited to see what they got.
Yeah, speaking of, we are starting off with Cerebral Assassins versus Epsilon. For those who do not know what the qualifiers entail, each team we see today is going to be aiming for a X&O record, i.e. over the next 3 rounds go undefeated. Otherwise, if you do get 2 X&1 records across any of the qualifiers, they also earn an invite to Season 3. Though I imagine everyone's first off and foremost aiming for that undefeated.
Yeah, I mean, getting that undefeated not only gets you, guaranteed spot, but it also sends a little message to other teams, like, hey, we know what's going on. We got this in Season 3, so it puts you in a good spot, man.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But with that being said, it looks like we are just about to get set up and ready to go. And we are going to be starting off with Torment Creek. And I do believe we are going to be seeing Running Man killing for Cerebral Assassins.
Absolutely, Running Man killing for Cerebral Assassins in Torment Creek. Running Man is he's a killer main, has brought a lot of killers that I've watched. I've shoutcast in this event in Season 2, and I'm excited to see what he can do.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Especially as right now, the 3 killers that were available for this round 1 were the Plague, the Executioner, and the Demogorgon. So some really good killers to choose from here for match number 1. But we are loaded in as we speak, and as we do, I do want to remind everyone that with the beginning of Season 3 qualifiers, we are partnering up with Stream for a Cause. For those who do not know what that is, Stream for a Cause is a non-profit that believes anyone can make a difference no matter the size of their community. So definitely make sure to check out Champions for a Cause down in the Discord. But we are starting off strong here with the Plague.
Oh, you know me, Gil. I love some Plague gameplay. One of my favorite killers. After that buff, it seems like a lot more people have been playing Plague, and Running Man choosing to do that as well.
Yeah, I mean, hell, we saw Plague yesterday in the finals and semifinals, so definitely going to be quite exciting to see what Running Man can do here on the Torment Creek. We did see some crows there, and that is going to be our first chase with the ace here. And Running Man trying to set up for the initial infection, and there it is.
Getting that infection. Ooh, with the pallet drop. Nice pallet drop.
Yeah, overall, good pallet drop, gets some good distance. Ace, though, immediately broken. I do want to point out, we did see some totems here at the start, so I imagine we're seeing ourselves at least a Ruin, if not an Undying, and of course, the Corrupt Invention, so we at least know of 3 perks out of the 4 that this Plague has. Now, whether or not these survivors know of the second Hex perk, yet to be seen.
Yeah, Running Man, if it is what you said it is, he's choosing to do a little bit of a slowdown build. Like you said, we already know all 3 perks, so, he's got to be careful. Ruin has almost, you and I have talked about this at the beginning of Season 2. Ruin is one of those perks that gets cleansed right away.
Yeah, no, that is a big fear for any killer main using Ruin, using Undying. So I would be willing to bet that we are going to be seeing those two together, as Haunted Ground is not allowed. With that being said, though, we do see this first generator pop in off, and we'll see if this Claw does go down, and she does on the Tractor Vault.
It's a beautiful hit by Running Man, not going for the for a little mind game right there and choosing left instead of right. Gets it down. Great start, but you're right. There you have one gen done so far.
Yeah, but it is not over yet. I mean, if we're looking around, Claudette is the only survivor yet to be broken. So everyone is primed and ready for a insta-down. I guess the question now remains whether or not these survivors are going to play nice and slow and start to cleanse, or if they're just going to go with the we don't care being broken strategy.
Absolutely. Now, that's the thing is, do you stay broken? What would you do, Gil?
I mean, it really does depend on what your goals are. I think that if you kind of look around at the pools and you realize they're all out in corners, I think you just want to kind of start cleansing, you know, around the corners, away from where the plague is going to want to be and grabbing that power. The worst thing you can do, of course, is starting to cleanse like in the middle of the map where plague can just pick up her power on the go and go for some insta-downs. But these survivors, they don't seem deterred. They are not cleansing, at least not yet.
No, not yet. Like a little bit of showmanship right there is, hey, show us what you got, and then maybe we'll think about cleansing.
Yeah, I do want to notice, though, we did see that first Hex Totem get cleansed, but we do see Ruin still up. So looks like it was a Ruin Undying combo in the works. And full Survivor team fully broken. I will say, we do not have Thanatophobia. These survivors would be well aware of its effects, but the fourth perk is not Thana. However, we do hear another Hex Totem pop off, and looks like we have a 1 perk Plague on our hands.
Absolutely. Now, I mean, with Ruin Undying gone, I feel like as far as it got, I feel like it's got its value, because that's a little bit longer than we're used to seeing Ruin Undying last.
This is true, no doubt about that, but we see Running Man here force the second stage on the hook and will pick up their power. I mean, even with BT here, I don't know if these survivors want to go for this unhook and might instead opt to just pressure the gens over by Shaq.
Absolutely. I mean, that was a good play by Running Man grabbing power just to, you know, make sure if anyone tries to commit any kind of mad game, he can easily just do a little bit of range attack. So good play there by Running Man.
No doubt about that. But looks like we do see another generator pop off, and only like 30 seconds left for this survivor until they are dead. We do see crows coming back after 20 seconds, so there is a survivor nearby. But so far, no sign of them.
Yeah, no, they popped 2 gens, and oh, there's survivors over there somewhere.
Yeah, and looks like the survivor did let go of the hook, and so that will be the first death of the game. And Running Man is back on a tail of, I believe, the ace this time.
And I feel like right now your play is to see if you can get. Ooh, I thought that was gonna hit.
Yeah, it definitely looked like it, but instead of Ace, I will point out we do have the Claudette. I want to say we definitely saw Ace pass by earlier, but Claude Girl now is going to be taking chase instead. And so far, Running Man has put themselves into a pretty good position here. Once again, everyone is broken. No one has been cleansing. Only downside of that at the end of the day is they don't have many pools to work with either, as I imagine they're definitely looking to get some ranged value out of their power, as they are actually going back to this pool of devotion and will drink up to try and protect the 3-gen.
Absolutely, it feels like Running Man heard you, Gil. He needs to get some range attack, get somebody down quickly, and see if he can snowball.
Yeah, especially as we're kind of looking at these 3-gens right here. It's not the tightest 3-gen in the world, but it's definitely better than some alternatives. And we do see this gen 99 and prime to go, but this Kate is in a world of hurt right now. Running Man with that tablet and the extended time provided by it on their power. So Kate's going to have to really make the most of this situation, but unfortunately will end up going down. And looks like Runnerman's going to go for the slug play and an adrenaline from the Kate.
Man, what a great play by the survivors, knowing that she was going to get down and they could finish that gen with adrenaline.
Yeah, no, was overall really great play. However, I do want to note now that the Plague here does have the haste status effect. So no Ed is in play, and their totem is right next to this hook. So I do not foresee these survivors able to get the Kate, and we do see Ace leave. Claudette did cleanse, but I think it is all for naught.
Claudette cleansing just for the heck of it, because she ends up leaving as well.
Well, that there will be the end of the first trial here for round number 1, with Running Man with a nice 7-hook 2K here, and they will be pretty close as far as points, actually. I mean, there's 2 fresh escapes, so I think it might end up being 15-15, so it is a fully tied match.
Wow, that's awesome. Honestly, great play by our survivor team to just not worry about the person on hook, slam gens, make sure that they're able to not get into a risky situation of unhooking the survivor and then causing a snowball for our Plague. And a Running Man, and kind of just knowing what he needed to do to get out of there with that 2K is awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, overall, amazing plays there by Running Man. So I think that's going to put them into, I mean, I would like to say a good spot for their survivor match here, but at the end of the day, I think that this is anyone's game. It's really going to come down to the survivor team if they're able to either put up similar numbers in some way, shape, or form, or, potentially do that much better. I mean, all they need to do is to get a 2-man out with 6 hooks. If they get that, then they get the win, and they will be able to move on to the next round without a loss under their belt.
Absolutely, and that's the thing about it. It's like, this is one of those matches that you have great survivor gameplay and you have great killer gameplay, and so now you pass the buck to your survivor team and you say, okay, hey, we're good. Now this is what you need to do. Like you said, 6 hooks, 2 men out. This is what we need to do to get past. Let's get it done.
Exactly. But with that being said, as we are waiting for the survivor team to jump on in, I know I did mention towards the beginning of that match that we have teamed up with Stream for a Cause. And for those who have not checked it out, definitely make sure to check out Champions for the Cause, as we are trying to help support everything that Stream for a Cause does, as they have now partnered with us, and we are going to be working with them for the December Champions of Champions. So definitely make sure to stop by that link if you're able to donate $1. Every dollar counts, and in some ways will come back around for the prize pool in Champions for a Cause, or rather, Champions of Champions. There's so many champions now.
That's gonna be awesome, man. I'm so excited that you guys are we're partnering up. I mean, it sounds amazing. I'm excited for what's coming, and it's just so cool to see that we're not just doing this for the love of the game, but also provide some charity, some ability to provide for people.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a big thing that I know myself. I have always, tried to integrate in some way, shape, or form in my personal streams. But this is something that, they reached out to us and said, hey, we love what you're currently doing. We'd like to work with you and, really bring it to the next level by, introducing a charity element in some way, shape, or form. And I said, abso-freaking-lutely. It's something that I really pride myself on, of, always being part of Extra Life, with my personal stream, and with us then looking at, Champions of the Fog and what we could do with all the support that the community could bring. I mean, we've already, generated, I think, $110 for Champions for a Cause in support of Stream for a Cause. So, you know, definitely, like I said, make sure to stop by that link and show your support in whatever ways you can.
Absolutely, that's awesome, man. I'm excited for that. Hey, show your support. Like you said, even $1 matters, and that's pretty cool.
Exactly. But with that being said, we are getting set up right now for this second match, and kind of going back into how the qualifiers are going to work. It is a best of one, so they basically get one shot here, really quick, snappy matches. We're going to be going straight into the next one as soon as this one ends, and so this is, you know, this is for all the marbles right now. It's any team's game, 15-15. Cerebral Assassins just needs to get a 2-man out at 6 hooks versus Epsilon, which just needs to get, realistically speaking, a 2K 8 hook or a 3K, and they claim victory.
Absolutely. It could go, like you said, this is such a close game. It could go both ways, you know, and so either way. So that's where you have to you literally have to look at your survivor team and know your goal and know, okay, this is what we need to do. And as our killer as well, whoever it is, they need to make sure as well that they have a goal in mind and not just go out there not knowing, because the last thing you want to do is lose by like 2 or 3 points knowing you could have done something different, you know?
Yeah, exactly. But we got the entire Survivor team in, and as a reminder to everyone watching today, our matches are going to be back to back. So we have 3 rounds of matches today. So though we started over at 12, this is now going to be the last match until our match at 1. And then finally at 2 is going to be our last round of the day.
Yeah, a lot of matches. It's going to be a lot of fun. Y'all get ready, because you're going to see some crack gameplay.
Yeah, no, I think it's going to be a whole lot of fun. I actually really like this format, and I will say one thing I want to introduce and decided not to, since kind of getting everyone used to the idea of a Swiss tournament. I was actually really surprised. A lot of people were like, how does this work? I'm like, have we never done Swiss before? I'm like, I guess not. But either ways, it's something where I want to eventually get the killer selection, the ban / pick system in between rounds, where people are going to go right into ban selection, where we might have a screen up here on the intermission that shows us what they're banning in real time. So some things to look forward to in future seasons. For now, we're kind of keeping it as is, where we have some killer pools, the map's already set up, and kind of just rotating through bit by bit. But we have a full 7 qualifying days throughout the month of March. So a lot of games are going to be happening on the weekends. And then come April, we're starting the league all over again with Season 3. So that'll be April and May. We'll have a full 8-week league.
Yo, that's going to be awesome, man. It just keeps getting better and better, you know. Great changes were made in Season 2. I'm looking forward to Season 3, and it starts right now.
Yeah, and some of the major changes that we actually did see, we saw the ban of Deadlock, the ban of Lucky Break, and the ban of the perk combo No Way Out and Noed. So definitely shifting the meta a little bit, kind of moving away from that generic gen slowdown. I mean, we saw last game Ruin and Undyne again in, you know, Comp 2022. So definitely a strange one to say the least, but it makes sense given the circumstances of the changes, where comp teams are once again trying to figure out what is the best build.
Absolutely, and that's the thing that's cool, is that every season, I mean, you kind of use these qualifiers as to find out, like, hey, how we can do this. You're gonna use practice as well and things like that, and so it keeps you on your toes if you're these teams to try to do the best things. That's one of the things that I loved about Season 2, shotcasting with you and Rue, is the fact that we saw some awesome builds, and it wasn't just a generic this and that build. It was some fun, amazing stuff that I was like, wow, that actually worked, you know?
Yeah, indeed. But with that being said, I think we are good to go, and we'll be jumping right on in for the deciding trial between Cerebral Assassins and Epsilon. Once again, it is 15-15 Epsilon with the killer, and it looks like they are bringing the plague.
Ooh, dude. Okay, so match a little mirror. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I like it. So definitely going to be interesting to see who is the better plague, whether that be the Running Man or we got... I was going to try and say their name, and then I looked at it again, and it's like a bunch of symbols, and like, I'm not even going to attempt.
Yeah, I don't... I wouldn't either. I was trying to do it as well, and I said no.
Well, with that being said, though, we are jumping right on in, once again, on the Torment Creek, and I'm interested to see what the difference in builds is going to be. We saw a very hex-heavy package from Running Man with the Ruin and Undying. I wonder if we're going to see Noed again, as, you know, which was kind of surprising, especially as I feel like Running Man didn't get a lot of value out of Noed. Given the circumstance that all survivors were staying broken, right?
Right, yeah, no, it was not as effective. I was going to ask you about that as well.
All right, but with that being said, we do see the plague doing exactly what Running Man did too, vomiting on those gens with the tablet, get some infection going, and trying to slow down the match. I mean, this is one thing that plague really does well, is be able to kind of have a pseudo-corrupt on the active gens, because no survivor wants to be infected for free. You know, they want you to have to find them. And does beg the question of, against plague, do you think that waiting out corrupt is the right move?
See, that's the thing about it, is when she's infecting those gens that aren't corrupted. Ooh, she gets a chase right here though. But like you said, it's like a 50-50 shot, because I would still wait out though. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, it makes a lot of sense, and I think that we were seeing Cerebral Assassins attempt to do just that. Unfortunately, Poofy did get found and infected. We did see there that the plague trying to infect them with their pallet was not able to make it happen. It looks like they're going to stick around the shack, where we also see Fidget get infected, so they definitely touched one of those infected generators at some point.
Absolutely. So now Plague gets a little bit of knowledge right there of knowing that, hey, Plague might have Fidget and Poofy around here.
And sounds like there is no Ruin here today. However, these survivors are well aware of one gen regression perk. That is, well, not gen regression, but slowdown, which is the Thanatophobia.
Thanatophobia on Plague is beautiful. Oh, did you see what I just saw?
I heard it at the very least, and that was a bamboozle.
Okay, a little bamboozle Plague. Okay.
Yeah, definitely an interesting choice, but I mean, it worked out in this instance. The question of the day is whether or not this plague is going to be able to get the survivor to the hook, and they do indeed with multiple gens with some progress here. These survivors have been hard at work while Poofy has been in chase. Once again, though, we do have a 10% slowdown on these survivors right now with both Fidget and Poofy currently injured. So this plague is in a pretty nice spot, all things considered.
Absolutely. If I were this plague, yeah, I would just kind of just stick around, monitor the situation, and then take it from there, because this is where the plague hooked. Poofy is just a great spot.
Yeah, exactly. Between multiple gens being worked on, that one guy D is now infected. We do see a gen off in an instance get popped off, so a little bit of progress here for the survivors. It is actually feeling very similar to Running Man's match. You know, similar idea. We got the hook. We're going to get the progression to second stage. They put it around gens that were getting some work on. I mean, the question is whether or not these survivors are just going to make use of this time and just sit on gens in the meanwhile.
Absolutely, you have to basically do what you just said at Giltspire and just do the gens, commit to the gens, and it looks like you actually found somebody. It looks like a cord.
Yeah, they were able to find the Kate, and it looks like they're trying to get on in for the save. Unfortunately for the Nia here, there ain't much to work with in this tile, and we now have a slug at the hook. this could spell disaster if there is no Unbreakable in play.
Yes, it could. Now, you saw the difference from the first game to this one. They went for the save, of course, with 2 people, and because they were all already injured due to plague sickness, the plague got a slug out of it instead of them committing to gens.
And we do see at least one survivor basically is sitting on gens at this point in time, but this K at the end of the day, I think... Wait one second.
Was that Unbreakable?
Wait.
Oh, no.
That was such a good attempt. If there was only an extra second there before the grab, they would have been able to get that sneak in. I think the Plague had like the same moment that I did, whereas a bit of a double take of, excuse me, what did I just see?
Yeah, absolutely. They had the same take. We were all wondering what in the world was going on, but yeah, like you said, if they had one more second, I think that one guy D gets poofy out of that situation.
I think you're right, but now we have Thanatophobia doing the entity's work with 15% slowdown. Only one person on the, or was on the hook. I don't know if that had to have been an unhook, right? There was no safe unhook, so it was not deliverance.
Yeah, I think it was an unhook as well.
Looks like we're going to drink up at the Pool of Devotion. I'm just like, I'm still reeling from the fact of that Unbreakable play out in that corner tile, and it almost working to perfection. But looks like these survivors have kind of taken the game back into their hands. I mean, it's going to be a hard game with 3 gens left, 3 survivors. But with that being said, they are wasting no time, and they did pop off another gen.
Absolutely, this was a great chase by Cord. It looks like, and being able to waste more time, get that gen popped, and hopefully they're working on that the other 2 gens quickly. But it looks like our Plague wants to hook right here for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have Scourge Hook, so I do not know. I mean, we know 3 out of the 4 perks. We know Thanatophobia, Bamboozle, and the Corrupt Intervention. The question then remains, what exactly is that 4th one that we have yet to see?
And what's crazy is that I understand why they're hooking right there. You have that gen and was getting done right there, so it looks like our Plague actually made the right call.
Yeah, I mean, if you hook next to a gen, it means they can't really work on it. But if I'm looking at the situation, I mean, it's not a 2-2 split, but like it's close enough to where these survivors can probably work on those corner gens and not really care about the survivor on hook. I think that is what they need to do right now, as if they are able to get these last 2 gens and maybe get the 3-man out, will be in a good place for them. But unfortunately, if they let this survivor die on hook, I think that might end up spelling defeat.
Absolutely, and like you said, what needs to happen is them cranking out those 2 gens in the corner.
Yeah, but unfortunately, Plague picked up their power, gets the down on Fidget, and I think this is the end for Cerebral Assassins. There has been actually 1 safe unhook, but that was the Kate. We did not see a deliverance from Cord. Meg is now on hook, and the last survivor is in chase. This is looking to be a 4K for the Plague.
Yeah, this is not looking good. We'll see if that was a beautiful hit.
Just one of those patent Plague spray and praise.
Absolutely. Even with Plague, if you can't see them, just spray and pray.
Indeed, indeed, but that there will be the 4K for Epsilon, and they will be moving on to round number 2 with a win underneath their belt. So we will actually be following Epsilon going into round number 2 for this stream. Kind of how it's going to work going forward is we'll be following the winner of round 1, round 2, and of course then we'll end with round 3. But we're going to get started here as soon as everyone from round 2 is set and ready. We might, at the very latest, starting at 1 p.m. CST. Until then, we will be taking a little break. You know, Gannicus and I need to drink and eat as well. You know, we are humans after all.
Something like that.
But with that being said, that was, I actually want to point out something very interesting against Plague. I guess to be fair, they didn't know there was Plague. There's a pool of 3 killers to choose from, but an unfortunate and risky choice here with the renewal, as Plague was in that pool, because if there was anyone else, you know, definitely a better choice, but against the Plague, it's a big oof.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. That's a huge oof right there. Now, of course, we don't know. They didn't know that they were bringing Plague, but still, that perk's almost obsolete with Plague.
Yeah, it is rough indeed. But that there will be the end of this match. So GG, well played to Cerebral Assassins, and congratulations with your first win of qualifier number 1 to Epsilon. We will see you again at the very latest at 1 p.m. CST. Otherwise, we'll be back even earlier. So don't you guys go anywhere. Yannicus and I will be back soon. But until then, as a reminder, guys, we are partnered with Stream for a Cause, a non-profit here based here in the U.S., where they are supporting the likes of Texas with the new legislation coming down, the likes of Ukraine with what's going on there, and so much more. So definitely make sure to check out Stream for a Cause and our charity that we partnered with them called Champions for a Cause. So that link will be right here in chat. So if you can, donate $1 or just share it to whoever, you know, if you're in a community with a lot of other people and you want to see our charity get some support, share it there, share it on social media and more. But that being said, Gannicus, we will be back in just, at the very latest, 24 minutes.
Absolutely, man. I'm excited.
Awesome. Well, we'll see you guys in just a little bit, and also stick through this quick break, or quick ad break we're going to have, as right now Chance Fogs does not have any sponsors, so every ad and sub does go towards supporting the league and the tournaments that you see here today. So it would be much appreciated. But on that note, guys, we'll see y'all in a little bit. Bye-bye!